Train your mind to respond, not react. Stoic philosophy. Imagine for a moment that you possess the power to transform life's greatest challenges into your most profound victories. At this very moment, you hold the potential to reshape the very fabric of your existence by adopting a philosophy that has stood the test of time. Today, we embark on a journey into the heart of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has empowered individuals for centuries to thrive in adversity and find serenity amidst chaos. Reflect on the last time you faced a situation that tested your patience or shook your confidence. How did you respond? Were you a prisoner to your immediate reactions, or did you choose a response that reflected your deeper values and convictions? This is where Stoicism shines, guiding us to respond to life's challenges with courage, wisdom, and equanimity. Stoicism is not merely a set of abstract principles, but a practical guide to living. It teaches us to focus on what is within our control, encouraging a detachment from external circumstances and an anchoring in our own reason and choices. This wisdom can inspire us to pause, reflect, and choose a course of action that is reasoned and deliberate rather than impulsive and reactive. Why is this important? Consider how much of our stress, regret, and frustration stems from knee-jerk reactions to things people say or do. Now imagine if, instead, you could remain calm, centered, and thoughtful, even when the world around you is anything but. This isn't just about improving your peace of mind. It's about becoming a more effective, compassionate, and resilient person. These qualities can transform not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. To develop this responsive mindset, we must cultivate mindfulness. This involves identifying and expressing our emotions constructively and keeping the bigger picture in mind. Mindfulness is about cultivating a deep awareness of the present moment, observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. By practicing mindfulness, we align with the Stoic endeavor to live with awareness and intention, anchoring ourselves firmly in the now, the only time when we truly have the power to act. Think about a recent situation where you felt compelled to react immediately. What if, instead, you had taken a moment to pause, breathe, and reflect? This simple act of pausing can be profound. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, often spoke of the space between stimulus and response, the space where we have the power to choose our actions. By cultivating the habit of pausing, even just for a few seconds, we give ourselves the opportunity to step back from our immediate impulses. This pause can be filled with a deep breath, a moment of reflection, or a brief meditation. It's in this space that we can consult our inner Stoic, asking ourselves what virtue calls for in this moment and what response aligns with our highest self. Reframing our perspective is another powerful strategy the Stoics use to maintain equanimity in the face of adversity. This involves consciously choosing to view a situation from a different angle, one that reduces its emotional charge and reveals alternative ways to engage with it. For instance, instead of seeing a challenging work situation as a threat, you might reframe it as an opportunity to grow and demonstrate resilience. By changing our narrative, we shift our emotional responses and open up new possibilities for action. The Stoics also advocated focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. In practicing this principle, we learn to invest our energy wisely, responding actively to our own thoughts and actions while accepting external events as they unfold. This doesn't mean being passive or indifferent. Rather, it's about recognizing where our power truly lies and choosing to act there with intention and integrity. Consistent reflection and adjustment are key to training the mind. The Stoics engaged in daily self-examination, assessing their actions and progress toward virtue. Similarly, we can end our day by reflecting on our responses, celebrating our successes in choosing thoughtful actions, and learning from the times we fell back into reactivity. This ongoing process of self-assessment and improvement fosters a responsive mindset and cultivates the wisdom and balance that Stoicism so highly values. By integrating these strategies into our daily lives, we not only honor the legacy of the Stoics, but also empower ourselves to live with greater purpose, calm, and effectiveness. Through persistent practice, we transform our minds, guiding them toward responses that reflect our deepest values and aspirations. Mindfulness at its core is about cultivating a deep awareness of the present moment. It's about observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, allowing us to gain insights into their nature and influence. By practicing mindfulness, we align with the Stoic endeavor to live with awareness and intention, anchoring ourselves firmly in the now, the only time when we truly have the power to act. One practical way to cultivate mindfulness is through focused attention exercises such as breath meditation. By simply observing our breath, noticing each inhale and exhale, we develop the ability to maintain attention and return it to our point of focus when it wanders. This practice is not just about relaxation. It's a training ground for the mind, enhancing our ability to concentrate and remain present amid life's distractions and challenges. Another key practice is mindful observation, which can be applied to any daily activity, turning it into an opportunity for mindfulness. Whether you're eating, walking, or even performing mundane tasks, you can practice being fully engaged with the activity, observing every aspect with curiosity and openness. This not only enriches the experience itself, but also strengthens your ability to remain focused and responsive in various situations. Body scan meditation is another powerful mindfulness technique that fosters body awareness and presence. By attentively scanning through different parts of the body, we not only cultivate a greater connection with our physical selves, but also learn to recognize and release stored tensions and emotions. This practice echoes the Stoic reflection on the nature of bodily experiences and the importance of not allowing them to unduly influence our rational minds. Incorporating mindfulness into our interactions with others can also transform our relationships and communication. By being fully present with others, listening attentively, and observing without judgment, we foster deeper understanding and connection. This practice aligns with the Stoic value of empathy and the recognition that others too are rational beings navigating their own challenges and experiences. By embracing these mindfulness practices, we walk a path tread by the Stoics, one that leads to greater clarity, tranquility, and effectiveness in our actions. As we cultivate a mindful presence, we equip ourselves with the tools to respond to life's inevitable challenges with grace, wisdom, and composure, embodying the best of what it means to live a Stoic-inspired life. Now, let's transition our focus toward the pragmatic application of our newfound mindfulness and Stoic insights, aiming to cultivate a lifestyle where responding thoughtfully overshadows reactive impulses. This journey to implementing a response over reaction is not merely about suppressing natural reflexes. Rather, it's about enriching our engagement with life, echoing the Stoic virtue of living with deliberate intention and rationality. Imagine you're faced with a challenging situation, perhaps a disagreement at work or an unforeseen setback. The immediate impulse might be to react emotionally, driven by frustration or disappointment. Yet, this is the moment to harness our Stoic-inspired training, to pause and consider the broader perspective, asking ourselves, what would a Stoic philosopher do? This question isn't a call for emotional suppression. Instead, it's an invitation to engage our rational mind, to evaluate the situation dispassionately, and to identify constructive responses. Here, we're not eliminating emotions but channeling them productively, using reason to navigate through them. It's about acknowledging our feelings, understanding their triggers, and then, with clarity and calm, deciding the best course of action that aligns with our values and objectives. In practical terms, this could mean taking a brief walk to clear your mind before responding to a provocative email, or it might involve a deeper analysis of what's truly upsetting you in a conflict, seeking the underlying issues rather than reacting to surface irritants. Each time you choose to respond rather than react, you're reinforcing a pattern of thoughtful engagement with life's challenges, fostering resilience, and cultivating a more profound sense of peace and satisfaction. Moreover, integrating this approach into your daily routines amplifies its impact. Begin your day with a reflection on your intentions, reminding yourself of your commitment to respond thoughtfully across various contexts. Engage in regular journaling to reflect on your responses, celebrate your successes, and identify areas for growth. And importantly, embrace a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation, recognizing that each day offers fresh opportunities to practice and deepen your mastery of response over reaction. By committing to this path, you're not just adopting a strategy for stress reduction or conflict management. You're embracing a way of life that reflects the Stoic pursuit of virtue and wisdom. You're choosing to live with intentionality, aligning your actions with your highest ideals, and in doing so, you're contributing to a more reasoned, compassionate, and responsive world. The journey from reaction to response is transformative, beckoning us toward a deeper engagement with our inner selves and the external world. It's a path that the Stoics walked with diligence and dedication, and now, with their wisdom guiding us, we too can aspire to navigate life's vicissitudes with grace, equanimity, and wisdom. Mastering emotional intelligence, the Stoic path to mindful response. As we continue our exploration of Stoic philosophy, we delve deeper into the realm of emotional intelligence, a crucial aspect of training our minds to respond rather than react. Emotional intelligence, or the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, is fundamental to living a Stoic-inspired life. This capacity allows us to navigate both internal and external challenges with greater wisdom and composure, fostering a mindful response that aligns with our values and long-term goals. Emotions are powerful forces that shape our perceptions and actions. The Stoics recognized this and offered profound insights into managing emotions constructively. They taught that while emotions themselves are natural and inevitable, our interpretations and subsequent reactions to these emotions are within our control. By developing emotional intelligence, we can transform our emotional experiences into opportunities for growth and self-mastery. Consider a moment when you felt overwhelmed by anger or frustration. In such instances, it's common for people to react impulsively, often regretting their actions later. The Stoic approach encourages us to pause and reflect on the emotion's origin. What triggered this feeling? Is it based on a misunderstanding or a perceived threat to our ego? By dissecting the emotion, we begin to understand its roots and can address it more rationally. One practical Stoic technique for managing emotions is the practice of cognitive distancing. This involves stepping back from our immediate emotional responses and observing them as an impartial spectator. Imagine you're watching a play where your thoughts and emotions are the characters. By viewing them from a distance, you create a space between the stimulus and your response. allowing you to choose a reaction that is measured and deliberate. For example, if you receive criticism at work, your initial emotional response might be defensive or hurt. Instead of reacting immediately, you can practice cognitive distancing by considering the criticism objectively. Is there truth in the feedback? Can it help you improve? By shifting your perspective, you transform a potentially negative experience into a constructive one. Another vital aspect of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. The Stoics emphasize the importance of knowing oneself, understanding our strengths, weaknesses, and habitual tendencies. Self-awareness enables us to recognize patterns in our emotional responses and identify areas for improvement. Are there specific triggers that consistently provoke a strong reaction? By becoming aware of these patterns, we can develop strategies to address them before they escalate. Self-awareness also involves acknowledging our emotions without judgment. The Stoics did not advocate for the suppression of emotions, but rather for their understanding and acceptance. When we feel angry, sad, or anxious, instead of pushing these emotions away, we can explore them with curiosity. What is this emotion trying to tell me? How can I use this insight to respond more effectively? This approach aligns with the Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature, embracing our human experience fully while striving for rationality and virtue. In addition to self-awareness, empathy plays a crucial role in emotional intelligence. The Stoics recognized the interconnectedness of all human beings and advocated for compassion and understanding in our interactions with others. By developing empathy, we enhance our ability to respond thoughtfully to the emotions of those around us. Imagine you're in a heated argument with a loved one. Instead of reacting defensively, try to understand their perspective. What emotions are driving their behavior? How can you address their concerns constructively? By practicing empathy, you not only de-escalate the conflict, but also strengthen your relationship through mutual understanding and respect. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils, is another powerful tool for cultivating emotional resilience. This involves anticipating potential challenges and mentally preparing for them. By envisioning possible difficulties and rehearsing our responses, we build emotional fortitude and reduce the impact of unforeseen events. For instance, before attending a high-stakes meeting, you might anticipate possible objections or criticisms. By preparing calmly and rationally, you equip yourself to respond effectively, regardless of the outcome. This practice not only enhances your ability to handle adversity, but also aligns with the Stoic emphasis on preparedness and adaptability. Meditation and reflection are also integral to developing emotional intelligence. The Stoics engaged in regular reflective practices, such as journaling, to examine their thoughts and actions. By setting aside time each day to reflect on our emotional experiences, we gain valuable insights into our inner world and can make conscious adjustments to our behavior. In your reflections, consider the following questions. How did I respond to challenges today? Were there moments when I reacted impulsively? What can I learn from these experiences to improve my responses in the future? This continuous process of self-examination fosters growth and aligns with the Stoic commitment to self-improvement. As we integrate these Stoic practices into our daily lives, we cultivate a balanced and responsive mindset. We learn to navigate our emotions with wisdom and grace, transforming potential obstacles into opportunities for growth. By mastering emotional intelligence, we enhance our capacity to respond thoughtfully to life's challenges, embodying the Stoic ideals of courage, wisdom, and equanimity. Consider the power of perspective. The Stoics often reflected on the vastness of the universe and the transient nature of human life. By contemplating our place in the grand scheme of things, we gain a sense of proportion and humility. This perspective helps to diminish the emotional intensity of our immediate concerns, allowing us to respond with greater clarity and calm. For example, when faced with a stressful situation, you might take a moment to reflect on the broader context of your life. Will this issue matter in a year or even a month? How does it compare to the larger challenges you've overcome? By adopting this wider perspective, you diffuse the emotional charge and approach the situation with a more balanced and rational mindset. The Stoic practice of amor fati, or love of fate, is another profound way to cultivate emotional resilience. This involves embracing all aspects of life, including its challenges and setbacks, as essential parts of our journey. By accepting and even loving our fate, we align ourselves with the natural flow of existence and reduce resistance to what is. Imagine you encounter a significant personal or professional setback. Instead of viewing it as a misfortune, consider it an opportunity for growth and learning. How can this experience strengthen your character? What valuable lessons can you derive from it? By embracing your fate, you transform adversity into a catalyst for personal development, embodying the Stoic ideal of resilience. Another essential Stoic principle is the dichotomy of control, which emphasizes focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. This principle is deeply liberating as it redirects our energy from futile attempts to control external events to constructive actions within our sphere of influence. For instance, if you face a challenging situation at work, rather than stressing over factors beyond your control, focus on what you can influence: your attitude, effort, and actions. By concentrating on your own contributions, you empower yourself to respond effectively, regardless of the external outcome. This shift in focus aligns with the Stoic commitment to living in accordance with nature and embracing our role as rational agents. In our interactions with others, the Stoic practice of sympathetic joy, taking pleasure in the happiness and success of others, can also enhance our emotional intelligence. By celebrating others' achievements, we cultivate a sense of interconnectedness and reduce feelings of envy or resentment. This practice fosters positive relationships and aligns with the Stoic ideal of living harmoniously with others. Imagine a colleague receives a promotion you were hoping for. Instead of feeling envious or bitter, practice sympathetic joy by genuinely congratulating them and celebrating their success. This shift in perspective not only strengthens your relationship, but also enriches your own emotional experience, fostering a sense of abundance and connection. As we continue to integrate these Stoic principles into our lives, we cultivate a profound emotional intelligence that empowers us to respond thoughtfully and constructively to life's challenges. By developing self-awareness, empathy, and a balanced perspective, we align ourselves with the Stoic ideals of wisdom and virtue, transforming our emotional landscape and enhancing our capacity to navigate the complexities of existence with grace and intention. Through persistent practice and reflection, we cultivate a responsive mindset that honors the wisdom of the Stoics and empowers us to live with greater purpose, tranquility, and effectiveness. This journey of emotional mastery is not merely about achieving a state of calm. It's about embracing the fullness of our human experience and engaging with life in a way that reflects our highest values and aspirations. The Stoic path to mindful response invites us to explore the depths of our inner world, to understand and harness the power of our emotions, and to navigate the external world with wisdom and grace. By committing to this path, we honor the legacy of the Stoics, and embark on a transformative journey toward a life of greater meaning, resilience, and fulfillment.